Sharon, and welcome everyone, wherever you are right now. And really pleased to see both familiar faces and new names as well. Welcome everyone. So I'm just going to share my screen so you can see some of the content. And Sharon, if you can sort of give me a thumbs up if you can see the screen. Perfect. Okay. So we hear about the Kyoto Mindful Leadership Program, and I guess I'll start with I'm just going to introduce myself. So I'm Stanley Ng, and I come from from a few different perspectives to this particular event. So as the founder of a consulting firm, Sage Capital, as well as from a mindfulness perspective as well. And really, it's my great pleasure to be the lead teacher, both for the strands for the Finding Peace in a Frantic World, as well as for the leadership as a daily practice element. So these two things come together really well to support this program. Ruth is our academic advisor from the university, and she'll be joining us remotely during those 5 days on the first and the fifth day to share about sort of what's the latest from the space, as well as some of the academic foundations of mindfulness. So these are the two of us that I wanted to just quickly mention. And of course, you'll be meeting my other colleagues very shortly as well. So just taking a step back, why this program, why now? I think we all can recognize a little bit of the sort of whiplash of the current world, the high speed, complexity, and how things are changing so quickly. And it's really hard to keep steady as a leader, to hold space for ourselves and our organizations. And that is also where the opportunity lies. Is there a way that we can cultivate a little bit more presence, clarity, capacity to really hold the space for wiser decisions and responses as we meet the challenges that continue coming every day, it feels like. So in this setting, we really believe that mindfulness can be really quite helpful and supportive, almost with a view that leadership can be seen as a personal practice. So it's not just what you do, but it's how you resource yourself. It's what we bring of ourselves into the day and how we create the conditions for the team, the company to thrive. So really, this is where the inner steadiness comes. And these are the two strands I mentioned, the finding peace element, which is really about a structured practice to build the inner foundations. But in parallel, we are also adding this year the sort of leadership practices in the morning. So this is leadership as a daily practice. We are folding in everyday moments of leading into what we're doing. So these two strands come together, work hand in hand, really, to bring forward the resilience and compassion needed of leadership in today's day and age. So I'm just going to talk about the two strands quite quickly. So the first strand is on the Finding Peace in a Frantic World. So there will be 8 sessions that are built into the 5 days. And it's done in a very seamless way. So we'll have, generally speaking, a morning session and an afternoon session in most days. And these sessions are really built around the foundations of the best-selling book, Finding Peace in a Frantic World. So that was the book created or written by Mark Williams, one of the co-founders or co-creators of MBCT, and Danny Penman. And I think it sold more than 1 million. It says 1.5 million copies on the picture on the right-hand side. So very popular. And it's MBCT that has been reoriented, adapted for the general population. So it can be really practical and useful even in the day-to-day. So this forms the foundation of our 5 days together, the spine, if you like, of the mindful practices. And during those sessions, there will be a combination of sort of practices, but also in the context of leadership, certain exercises from CBT, and then really the invitation of practicing in between the sessions. What I love about the 5 days is that it's a little bit like a 5-day retreat. So we have the chance to really spend time together, spend time with ourselves, spend time in the moment, but there's still enough time during breaks, overnight, to practice as well. So you're practicing together and practicing in our own time. So it gives us a little bit of a cadence, a rhythm to build up over those few days. So this is the key blocks. You will all be given audios that you can download and keep. There will be also notes from Oxford Mindfulness. They're very high quality that are also available to take with you. So that's the foundation, that's the curriculum for the finding peace elements. Then I'll move on to the next strand that I'll be leading. And the idea that, leadership is not just a set of tools or techniques or frameworks. Leadership is really how we are as leaders as well, not what we do only. So can we lead as a daily practice? So the elements on the right-hand side, there are three key blocks. So three key sessions you'll be having where we dive deeper into the practice of leading. So the first one is leading with intention. The idea that, we get very focused on goals, getting things done, and those are very important. But in a very fast-changing world, the goals are tentative. We need to reset them again and again as things change. But intentions tend to be relatively stable, and they can be a bit like a compass as we navigate the world. So how do we bring clarity, purpose into how we lead? The second session is on leading through the ordinary. So the idea that, there's still power in small moments. How we start a meeting and how we end a meeting can profoundly shape the culture of the company, of how we work together, how we connect. So can we also be there, be fully there, be present in those ordinary moments? And also, the times like when we're waiting, in between moments, the gaps. As leaders, we tend to jump from highlight to highlight to highlight, but actually there's lots of periods in between. Can we take those moments as moments to recenter, reset, and really, really alter and bring our fullest presence to the next moment? So in a sense, if we're running really hard, we've got lots of deadlines, can we not carry forward that stress to the next meeting? So this idea of leading through the ordinary can be really helpful and resourcing. And the third one is leading when it's not easy. Of course, things are really difficult, and there will be reactivity, there'll be emotions that get really charged. Is there a way that we can bring a bit of space to respond? So these are themes that are very much aligned with the 8 sessions, but just done in a slightly different way, because we're really focusing on the how of leadership, not just the what. So if you look at the bullet points on the left, how our intentions can shape the presence, etc. And this will be done in a very spacious way, because another key element of the journey is the diversity of perspectives, experiences that come on sessions like this, in groups like this. So valuable and powerful. So we also want to make space for reflections as a group, to really make sure that whatever we are cultivating together is really grounded in practical realities of leadership. So this is the second strand of leadership as a daily practice we'll have that I'll be supporting you guys with. And then just in terms of the general vibe, and Marc-Henri will share a lot more of how beautiful and conducive the place is, but I'll just sort of mention very briefly. So these are photos from last year. The idea that, the morning and afternoon sessions have a particular rhythm and space about them. So they sort of progressively build up awareness. You might find over the 5 days, we get a little bit quieter, we get a little bit more fully there, which is a lovely feeling. But everything is really seamless. It's sort of connected to each other and grounded around Kyoto, the actual environment with us. So really, really a special event, I would say, personally. And this is my last slide. So for me, so this is actually a picture of one of the sessions and it's really lovely with our partners from Kyoto, and of course, the rich connections and sort of context available. It was really a magical moment to be able to lead a practice in a private museum that was closed for us. And so really, to me, this program is about people, place, and practice, everything coming together to support one another. And just so grateful for the opportunity to be here again. and to lead again. And looking forward to questions later on, I guess. So I think that's the stuff I really wanted to go through. I know we have a bit of time, Sharon, but I'm quite comfortable to hand over to Marc-Henri, if that's all right. Shall I?
Perfect. Thank you, Stanley.
Perfect. Yes, and I don't think this event would be anything the way it is without Marc-Henri from Kyoto University. So my great pleasure to hand off to him to share the other perspectives that bring so much richness to this program. Marc-Henri.